been a long wait, but Mafia II is upon us. Set in the 40s and 50s, this 2K title puts the Tommy gun in your hands as you become Vito Scaletta, an Italian-American nobody who's ready to become a wise guy somebody. You'll shoot, punch, and speed through 15 chapters of organized crime, but in the end, this is a game that never truly reaches made man status, thanks to a few issues.
You're gonna be sorry, the both of you. What do you say now?
What do I gotta say?
That's
What Mafia II nails is setting you in Vito's shoes. The radio blares classic oldies, the voice work is excellent, and the story is cool. I was always excited to get to the next cutscene to find out what was happening in Vito's life, and because the segments are produced so well. They have a cinematic feel that's perfect for this gangster story.
One more word, and you're gonna need a new set of teeth.
Outside of those segments, though, things can feel a bit flat. Mafia II struggles with pacing. It'll make you perform the mundane task of driving across town just so you can go to bed. You'll watch Vito stare at the wall like a robot while answering the phone.
Hello.
And there's a fair amount of screen tearing and lackluster textures on the graphics side. Empire Bay is a pretty city, but it's also a lifeless one. Don't get me wrong, there are cars and pedestrians all over the place that give off that 40s, 50s feel, but there isn't much interaction. Although there are times when you can roam the map at your leisure, there's nothing really to do. There aren't going to be side missions or strangers to help in this one. The stores you can go into are only there to facilitate the story missions you're constantly driving towards. There's nothing wrong with having a linear, story-based game, but the giant map filled with icons is a bit misleading, and making me drive around it at length just points out how empty it really is. Mafia II is your typical middle-of-the-road third-person shooter. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but it means that you probably know what to expect, and the game doesn't particularly excel at anything you're expecting. You can take cover, pull off headshots, and reload in an instant, but it all feels rather stiff. You can't blind fire even though your enemies can, the aiming is touchy, and the lock-on assist is hit or miss. When you're not shooting, you'll use an incredibly basic fist-fighting mechanic that is all about holding the dodge button until you can get in a light or heavy punch. Nothing's broken, but nothing's stellar either. Mafia II has some really cool story missions, such as disguising yourself as a window washer to blow up some bad guys and driving your drunken friends around to bury a dead body. But these are the exceptions to the rule. Most of the gameplay breaks down into cowering behind cover and waiting to pop up, kill a dude, and do it all over again in the next room.
We sure made one hell of a mess.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. Move it.
Getches.
I enjoyed Mafia II, and it is solid, but it just isn't all that inspired or exciting. After finishing the game, I looked back and realized what I liked most was watching Vito's story unfold in the cutscene. The missions between those movies were just a means to an end. Oh, and the collectible Playboy centerfolds are a nice touch. Need more Mafia II info? Check out IGN.com.